がここにいるうちの本物のスクールスポーツのために行こうぜベイビーバンとの国は気をつけて、現実になることがありますからね。
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and continue the long-standing tradition of covering Japanese boxing here on True School Sports. And we have a lot to discuss when it comes to Japan's favorite boxing hero, the monster, Naoya Inoue, because I have weird feelings going into this fight because most of the time I'd be very excited for a Naoya Inoue fight. However, this is a bit different because I'm not sure how the hell I'm gonna watch this fight because there is still, right now it's Tuesday. At the time we shoot this Tuesday morning here in California, there still hasn't been any announcement of a way for us, the American fight fans, to watch the monster. And by the way, it's not just about us watching a monster. He's fighting a legitimately hard puncher, a guy that could wind up being very dangerous and might be the most dangerous opponent he's ever fought. It's possible. We don't know. But it's definitely a fight worth watching. It's definitely a fight worth being excited about. But I can't get excited about something that I don't know if I could even see. So I'm very frustrated because, in my opinion right now, boxing isn't in the greatest place, particularly here in America. And I feel like the fact that it's fight week for one of the biggest names in boxing, one of the best fighters in the world, one of the handful of guys, one of the 10 guys or less in boxing right now who you could definitely say is must-see TV. It's fight week, and the odds are, and we don't have any announcement for us, the American fans who love to support the monster and watch his fights. We still don't have any announcement or way that we're gonna be able to watch the fight. So I think this is like a crime against boxing. Honestly, it's a crime against boxing because we're forced in America. We're forced to sit through so much, underwhelming fights. Fighters that get propped up to no end, and they don't deliver on fight night. But then the one guy, one of the handful of guys in boxing that every time he fights, he's delivering us what we want to see. He's delivering action. He's showing us skills. He's showing us knockouts. He's showing us just a whole bunch of things. Like he's one of those guys that hardcore fans could love and appreciate, and the casual fans could even get behind and love and appreciate. He's ticking all the boxes. He is a total package. He's one of the greatest fighters in the world, right? And he's one of the greatest fighters of our era. So the fact that we're in, this ain't 2018. This isn't 2017, 2016 when he was just kind of getting on the Americans' radar. No, we're deep into his career. We're in the latter stages of his career. We're towards the end of his prime, and you don't got to fight on TV. Like you don't have a fight for the American fans to watch. In a way, like he got a fan base in America. Like a lot of us have grown accustomed to waking up at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. depending on your time zone, and watching his fights. So it's pissing me off that we're not going to be able to watch this fight. So I hope they sort this out because this is a crime against boxing. ESPN and Top Rank don't work together anymore. So normally this would be an ESPN Top Rank fight, but they're not working together anymore. The deal ended. But I was hoping at least maybe a DAZN would pick it up, somebody. But still, it's Tuesday, and to my knowledge, from what I've seen, still no announcement. So it's very disappointing, and it just kind of goes to show you like where the state of boxing in America is. The fact that we have one of the best fighters in the world, one of the must-see guys, one of the faces. I won't say the face, but one of the faces of boxing. And he's not even on TV. We don't even know if he's going to be on TV. So American fans like me who love watching Inoue fight, we got to figure out, VPNs and how we could stream it. And it's just like it's a headache, man. It's a headache. I hate that this is happening, but it's happening. As far as the fight itself and things concerning the fight, Inoue had his recent media workout at the infamous Ohashi Boxing Gym. As he was preparing for the fight with MJ. And, he was asked a question of by the media. He was like, they asked him, they said, are you going to try to knock him out? What are the scariest or what are the strongest attributes of Murodjon? And he said really the main thing he's concerned about and looking at is the power and the strength of Murodjon. He feels like everywhere else around the board he's a better fighter, and he made it very known that like he's not going there to just to get a knockout, which really we know in a way, and we love the monster because he's explosive and he's always looking for the knockouts. But I think he's a smart guy. He didn't get to where he didn't get to the place he's gotten to in boxing on accident. He didn't become one of the best fighters in the world on accident. He got there because he's one of the best fighters out there, and he proved it time and time again. And I think he understands that this is not like fighting some of the guys he's been fighting. Murodjon can punch. Murodjon, and it's not just so much that Murodjon can punch, it's that he also has really good timing and amateur background, and he's seen a lot of styles in his own right. So Akhmadaliev is a guy that possesses, a big right hook, a big straight left hand. He's got a couple of different power punches that Inoue has to worry about. So the people like me in the media and the boxing pundits and analysts have been saying that, like Inoue is great, but he's got to rely a bit more on his boxing. And it's not like he doesn't have the capabilities to be a great technical fighter, because in some regards he is that, but he is that in an aggressive manner. With this fight, we might see Inoue just as a pure boxer, which I'm excited about. I'm excited that he's fighting a guy that punches hard enough to where Inoue may have to try to win a fight on points. And he's pretty much said, look, my only objective for this fight is to win. And so he's not really talking about knockouts. He's not talking about delivering an explosive fight, which normally he is. Normally here Inoue, he's talking about how he wants to give fans a great show and get knockouts, in some of his interviews from earlier fights. But this fight, he's talking a little bit differently because I think he understands that the challenge is different. And then, me and Sean Tatel are supposed to talk about this, but like, Inoue, right now in Japan, there's been a lot of boxers dying, and I think, and I think being in training camp with a guy like Yugo Osaki and talking to a Japanese fighter every day, you get more insight into like what these Japanese fighters really think. And these Japanese fighters really have this Bushido, death before dishonor code built inside of them. And I feel like Inoue has a chance to kind of set a trend here and send a message to the younger Japanese fighters and Japanese fighters all over the country that, hey, it's not all about getting knockouts. You can win a fight on points. You don't need to, not every fight needs to be a war. And so I think he has a chance to actually, in a sense, be a trendsetter. And by the way, I'm saying this, but Sean Tatel is the one who brought this point up to me, and I thought it made a lot of sense. So those are his thoughts, and I'll give him his credit. I don't want to like swag at Jack, my boy Sean Tatel, but yeah, like he's right. Like Japanese Japan's in a state where boxers are dying left and right, and I know from talking to so many Japanese fighters and knowing the Japanese fighters that it's in their nature to want to go to war and throw hard punches all the time. But I think Inoue knows that this is different. And this fight, I think, has a deeper meaning than even I first realized. So, yeah, these are like my final thoughts heading into Inoue Akhmadaliev. Very frustrated that the fight's not going to be on TV, but that's the state of boxing in America now. It's like you can't get one of the top 4 or 3 pound-for-pound guys in the world on TV while he's in his prime, towards the latter stage of his prime. Like, what are we doing, man? Anyway, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think of, Inoue against Murodjon? What do you think of Inoue and Murodjon potentially not even being on American television, which is insane, after he just fought here in May against Cardenas? What do you think about Inoue potentially winning this fight or trying to win this fight as a pure boxer? Leave your comments down below, and I'll definitely be reading them. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.